This is my new book. It's been out for about 4.5 months. It's called Moors and Masonry. Let me explain the cover here. You have the landmass that people falsely call the United States. Superimposed, I have the Moorish flag, which is actually the American flag. Now, so what I'm doing is placing the Moors in their proper perspective, and placing us, the Moors, in our proper perspective, in proper position. Now, below, I have 4 Europeans who are wearing Moorish fezzes. Who are these imposters? Europeans have traded places with us. Today, you have the ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the Mystery Shrine, established by Europeans and European Shriners in 1870. There's 206 shrine temples in the world. There's a membership of over 350,000 Europeans who are members of the ancient Arabic order of the nobles of Mystery Shrine, now called Shriners International. You also have the grottos. The grottos is the mystic order of the veiled prophets of the Enchanted Realm, established at Hamilton, New York in 1889. There's 130 grotto temples in the country. You have the Scottish Rites. The Scottish Rites order, the Northern jurisdiction, and the Southern jurisdiction. The Northern jurisdiction, you have there's 15 states that constitutes the Northern jurisdiction, and 35 states that constitutes the Southern jurisdiction. And there are hundreds of thousands of members throughout the world. So those are three of the biggest orders, Europeans. So this is huge. Now, the mystic order, you have this Grand Monarch. This past Grand Monarch is he belonged to the Muslim temple, so he's wearing the fez Muslim. This past Grand Monarch belonged to the Il Bey temple. This past Grand Monarch belonged to the Islam temple. And this is a past imperial potentate of the ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the Mystery Shrine, now called Shrine International. So these Europeans are traded places with us. They are wearing our Moorish fezzes. All right. Now I have an artwork here. The Europeans. This was drawn by Brother Atif, the Bari Eel. And you see here, the Europeans have taken the fezzes off our heads and throwing the fezzes onto the side. So there's been a trading places with the Moors. So you have, and also the Shriners' official greeting is Assalamu Alaikum. So they wearing our Moorish fezzes, also our Moorish headdresses.
Knowledge and wisdom, teach the understanding.
Now the question is, why the Europeans riding in Corvettes? Why Corvettes? Corvette means little ship. So the Shriners Parade is actually a reenactment of true history. The Corvettes represent the little ships that the Moors would ride up, would actually sail on the high seas, and we would actually approach the European ships in our Corvettes and climb, and we would actually we would climb aboard the European ship and seize the entire crew. So the Europeans are actually reenacting the history here. So this is not just, some fun time, some arbitrary choosing of the Corvette. Now the clowns are also used because the clowns represent the diplomatic relations between Morocco and the European powers. The clowns, there's a book called Clowns Are Everywhere by Patrice Otto. Now, the clowns were used as court gestures, and clowns were not only used during times to give laughter and to tell jokes, but they were also used as advisors. So the clowns being used in the Shriners Parade is symbolic of the extensive diplomatic relations between the Moroccan Empire and the European powers, where you had extensive treaty negotiation between Morocco and the European powers. That's France, England, Portugal, Spain, and Germany. So so the Europeans understand exactly what they're doing here. So it's just not a parade. What they're celebrating is our defeat. So these Europeans are very comfortable wearing our Moorish fezzes with our Moorish names on it, having these annual parades. Why are they comfortable? Because they know that millions of our people are asleep. Now, if our people were awake, they wouldn't have these parades. If you knew that the parades was a celebration of their conquering and defeating you, and we knew in large numbers, they would not have these parades. But because we think there's a bunch of, this what they do when they have this annual parade, and we think that the feds belongs to them, and just happen to use these names. We don't really have a connection. Even a lot of the brothers who are Shriners are clueless as to what's going on. They're just going on. Are you aware that in 1919, a local temple of the ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the Mystery Shrine, that's the Europeans, sued at Houston, sued a local temple at Houston of the ancient Egyptian order of the nobles, ancient Egyptian Arabic order of the nobles of Mystery Shrine, which is the Prince Hall order of the Shriners. The Europeans filed in the local chapter, the European local chapter or temple filed an injunction against the brothers, forbidding the brothers for wearing their own Moorish fez, using their own Moorish garb, using their own Moorish names, regalia, crescent and a star. Now, the brothers were unaware. They were clueless. So the brothers of the ancient Egyptian Arabic order of the nobles of the Mystic Shrine, Prince Hall, did not file a counterclaim. What they did was it eventually went to the Supreme Court. So the national body got involved. What the Prince Hall Shriners did was file an appeal stating that they had a right to establish an organization under the Act of Congress of May 5th, 1870. But they never, the Prince Hall Shriners never made the birthright claim. The Prince Hall Shriners never made a counterclaim in taking a birthright position that the fez belongs to them. They only made the claim that they had the right to establish an organization and that their right came from the Act of Congress of May 5th, 1870. Come on, my Shriners. Come on, my brothers. Prince Hall brothers. This is your birthright. Doesn't belong to the order. It belongs to you. It does belong to you by birthright.
Yeah, I got a couple of paintings that I ordered. This is of a Moor. Most people call black people, which is wrong. We are Moors or Blackamoor. Most people don't realize that the history of Moors, world history, we're not even taught about the Moors who were in Europe for over 1,000 years. In particular, this is a painting of a Moor. Yes. That was in Europe. Look at his clothes. Check out his shoes.
I'm looking at that.
Silk.
I'm looking at that.
So you're not gonna learn about this type of stuff in Black History Month.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that.
Most people used to seeing paintings where we don't have clothes on or bones in the nose or something like that. They don't know about how the Moors actually brought the light back to Europe.
I'm loving it though.
Check out this little toy or whatever I found at a little swap meet.
I see that.
A little
Break that down.
little European Shriner.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got the fez on.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that all about?
Yeah, look at his eyes. What color is his eyes? I see.
It's actually a magnet too.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, but they holding the knowledge right now.
Yeah, yeah,
that
no
these
doubt.
guys lost.
So
Do some research on the Crusades,
mm-hmm.
the Spanish Inquisition,
Mm-hmm.
Crusades. The Moors was fighting the Christians.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were
Okay.
fighting the Christians.
So they were fighting basically these guys, his ancestors.
Yeah, and when these guys lost, they took the crown,
Yeah,
the fez.
I got you. I got you.
That fez is symbolic of the cosmic womb. It's symbolic of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things.
Now let me look at this on his headdress. I see. Could you tell me what's that on the fez?
That's a scimitar,
Okay.
sword
Okay, okay.
over the crescent moon and star.
You said
right
a
there.
scimitar, right?
Yes, that's a curved sword. The Moors used to carry around the scimitars and chop heads off.
Okay,
Represents
okay.
justice.
Now film this. Film this. Now, what is this?
Oh yeah, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
And what is that?
That's a scimitar.
So why is that guy wearing a scimitar, crescent in the moon, and I claim Islam, circle 7, arm, leg, arm, head, and I mean, what's the difference? Like, I'm wearing it, but he's wearing it. We two different nationalities.
Right. Right.
Could you break that down to the people?
Well, actually, like I said, they're actually preserving. They're actually preserving the knowledge that we had, that
Yeah.
we lost, and they're actually suppressing us also.
Yeah.
The scimitar over the crescent moon and star is the subjugation of the Moabite woman.
Good.
The Moabite is the Moorish woman.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what that's all about.
And that's, you know what? That's weird because they have it right in front of our faces and we normally don't see it, people. And could you, I mean, in your own, like what got you on information, period, just wanting to know certain things?
Well, you know, we grew up together. So basically I was always a curious person.
Mm-hmm.
And we always liked to draw. So we always paid attention to details.
Yeah.
You know, we used to read Marvel comic books.
Yeah.
You know, so as artists, we just know to pay attention to detail.
Yeah.
And we always just didn't take things at face value. We used to do research. We are researchers.
Yeah.
So we didn't just take something somebody told us and just believe it.
Yeah.
We got to know because we about knowledge. We Moors.
Yeah.
We're not believers. We're not stuck in the belief state.
Yeah.
We got to do the research and get the knowledge. So once you do that and you become conscious, I mean, like you just said, the knowledge is not hidden. It's right in plain sight.
Yeah.
You know, to take a note out of Taj Tariq Bey book, this is where they hide stuff.
Yeah.
Right under your nose.
Yeah. I agree,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying?
I agree. I agree.
So basically,
good.
basic curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And besides, like as a reference to what I said before, the DNA of our ancestors is inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
So they're communicating with us all the time. We just don't hear it.
That's
You
what
know?
I'm talking about.
So once
bro.
you sit down, sit still, and you listen, then you'll hear your ancestors communicating with you.
I agree.
And then your eyes will start to open up. You'll become more conscious. And then you'll start to get this information. Turn the TV off, cut the video games off. Get back to nature, start eating right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it all happen. It all unfold before you and start studying.
Mm-hmm.
Get a library,
Yes.
you know.
I agree.
Start reading.
I agree. People, me and this brother, we've been knowing each other for years, like maybe 30 years or more. And it's like the progress, like we all, even as children, we were conscious. we were aware of certain things, but we had our growth periods, and this is where we are to, you know, in this present time. So you have to know what's going on out here. You have to really not take everything face value. You have to really do research, and it has to be inside of you. You have to want to know these things and compare and research. Do you agree, bro?
I agree 100%. You know,
That's
why you, as in regards to what you said before, when you asked me about hip hop, what's the difference then and now?
Yeah.
The difference then is that it was more conscious.
Yeah.
Even on a surface level.
Yeah.
You know, we were exposed to like Wu-Tang Clan,
yeah,
mainly the East Coast,
yeah,
the Nation of Gods and Earths,
yeah,
which go back to the Moors, you know, Nation of Islam. All of this stuff is connected.
I'm going into your secrets for a minute. Not you, Black Mason and Shriner. You don't have any secret. It's the white Masons and Shriners that we're going to expose in a minute. And listen to this. At least 9 of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence were Freemasons. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, James Monroe, John Jay, John Hancock, Paul Revere, John Paul Jones, and James Otis. Later on in 1870, out of Freemasonry came a higher order of Masons called the Shriners. Now the difference between Masons and Shriners is that to be a Shriner, you must be a master Mason in good standing. Now those of you who don't know anything about this, just hold your seats. I'll get back to you in a second. A Shriner belongs to the ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine. But wait, what kind of language is that? And all their temples or mosques are named after cities like Mecca, Medina, Syria, Aleppo. These are all parts of the Muslim world. So Arabic is in their name to describe the nobles. And a noble is a hereditary class that has special social political status in a country or state. And all white Shriners have an exalted or noble political and social status in America and nations throughout the world. Now they talk about this mystic shrine, meaning that there's some mystery attached to the shrine itself. And what is a shrine? It's a sacred place of worship associated with a holy person or a holy event, a container for sacred relics such as the bones of a saint, the tomb of a holy place, person, or other revered figure. Well, who is the saint that is entombed in the shrine? Oh boy. Who is that holy person whose bones are in that shrine? It's not just the bones of an architect of King Solomon's temple. No, that's cheap stuff. What is entombed in the shrine are the bones of those who are connected to the originator, and with him are the architects of that which you call universe and all therein. Now, this holy person is now entombed in mystery, meaning that there's a secretive knowledge of that tomb that is only given to those who are master masons. These people are called Muslim Shriners or Muslim sons. We get a question in our lesson: why does Muhammad make the devil study from 35 to 50 years before he can call himself a Muslim son and wear the greatest and only flag of the universe? Why must he add a sword on the upper part? Oh yeah, there, but make it big, man. Let the people see what I'm talking about. Now you have to remember, this question is put to us by Master Farad Muhammad. And if you notice all the Shriner temples, you see that crescent, that star with a sword over it. You think they don't know Islam? Well, now, if you look at this, this sword is over it, meaning that any time that any Shriner reveals the secret of what's in that tomb, they would pay with their lives. Well, what is the secret of the ancient Arabic order of the noble of the mystic shrine? It is you. It is your destiny. It is your future. It is your origin that has been kept a secret from you, but was known by the founding fathers of this country and known by the present day rulers. Now I want you to listen good. Elijah Muhammad said, you are the direct descendants of God himself. I'm going to say it again. You are the direct descendants of the originator of the heavens and the earth, and you are the natural Khalifa of God himself. Listen, listen. It is Arabic they use, because Arabic is the original language of the Asiatic black man. This black man, direct descendant of the originator of the heavens and the earth, and in him is the knowledge of how to build not a temple, but a new heaven and a new earth. They look at black people and know who we are. Yes. This holy person was hit in the head by 3 ruffians, Jubilah, Jubilo, and Jubilam. And when he was hit in the head, he was carried to the north country and buried in a shallow grave with a sprig of cassius coming up from the grave to let the world know that there's life down here. But who can get up the man in the tomb? Nobody but one with a master grip. Nobody but one with a lion's paw. The Bible says there's a lion asleep in Judah. Who will wake him? No pussycat can wake up a lion. And this pussycat leadership will never wake the black man up. You're too weak in your effort to free our people from the hand of the oppressor. This one is really a metaphor. It is an allegory. It is a fable that describes something that has happened to a real person. One who is a direct descendant and has in his DNA that potential of building a new heaven and a new earth. His name is Hiram Abiff. Hiram in Hebrew means a noble one. He was a noble. He was a holy person. And in the story, they put him to death. And they buried him in the North Country, North America. He's buried here. But he can be revived. The secret of Hiram is the power of the enemy through the Freemasons and the Shriners to lock down the black man and make sure that he never rises. The Masons and the Shriners, the white ones, are like that stone that was at the tomb of Jesus to keep Jesus from rising, but an angel came and rolled the stone away, and when they looked, he had risen. Keeping the secret of who the black man is was the duty of every white Mason, not the black Mason or Shriner, because you were never told that the secret was all about you. The white Masons and Shriners have always known the secret from Europe to America. In Europe, a Freemason understands the degrees and what it is to be a master mason. They know something of the African origin of civilization, the advancements in Egypt, and the great architectural genius of the black man. They learned all of that through their study of the original Bible, which has always been locked away among the aristocracy. Common people could not read the Bible. But the people rose up and wanted to know what was in that book. So King James commissioned a group of 47 scholars. Some believe included William Shakespeare, to rewrite the Bible and give it a diluted version, so that the common people who did not know science would never be able to know the truth that was hidden under allegories, metaphors, figures of speech. Think about the wisdom of the people who adulterated or changed the Bible. Think about the language and its use of allegories. with the imagery of animals, birds, and fish to describe another reality. All this is to hide what is really in the scriptures. These 47 scholars knew the sciences. They knew astronomy, they knew botany, biology, zoology, chemistry, physics. They knew these things because all of the scriptures are rooted in science. They use language that the little man could never unravel. But in their attempt to deceive the masses, they got themselves confused. And now they don't even know what the book means. It took the coming of God to unravel its meaning for us. Otherwise, to eat it, you'll be poisoned by it. You will think you know what you know not, and you will worship that of which you have no knowledge.